Good afternoon, everybody, and it's time to finish up the first speech of this particular class. And I was about to go through and try and correct everybody's score sheet so that you could resubmit it, but most of the problems are in the objective sentence. So I'm going to just deal with that in one video. Again, remember that it's a funnel. The broadest point is the subject, so it might be mental health. Central theme might be anxiety. But as you work through it, you might decide that actually the subject is anxiety. The central theme is fidget spinners or something, fidget toys. And then you go to the objective sentence. And then you're going to create the points of the speech, which are called the rationale. And then you're going to have show and tell. What are the things that you're bringing to shed light and color on your topic? Nobody wants to sit there and listen to words only. We need to do things that help bring the subject alive. So if you're going to talk about basketball, maybe you bring a photo of your basketball team or your favorite basketball, the one you take every time to play. Or if we're talking about school, you bring your favorite textbook, or you could do a PowerPoint. Now, when we're doing online oral comm, makes it a little more difficult because you've got to have that, unless you're really adept at the technology, then you got to have that on a laptop somewhere where we can see that on the screen. Some people use a TV to do that. And then finally, the E is evaluate. And that's just the name of a person, someone who, because they have a lot of knowledge about the subject, can help you make sure you've covered that adequately, or because they have very little knowledge of the subject, so you don't start too deep, too far into your topic. Those are two reasons to choose the person to evaluate. But let's break down that objective sentence for a minute. All right, what we have here is, this is one about NBA basketball. All right, so every NBA fan. The reality is that in any audience of a oral comm class, not everybody's going to be interested in your subject. So who are you really talking to? It can be everyone or every person. That's fine if you think your topic is applicable to everyone. Not everybody's probably going to want to listen closely to a speech about the NBA unless they have some idea that they're interested in it. So we're going to say every NBA fan, and for this speech, we're going to say can. Now, when we do the persuasive one, it's going to be should, but for this one, it's going to be can. I don't have to persuade you of anything. I just have to talk to you about things that I think are important. Okay? Good. Every NBA fan can understand how the game has changed by identifying the three most important rule changes. Okay, now, a couple things about this. What we basically have the speech now. What is this speech? The speech is about the three most important rule changes. That is the key word, the key phrase, what I like to call the backpack. I carry this leather bag with me everywhere I go. It's got all my stuff in it. It's got my journal. It's got my calendar. It's got my all that stuff, right? The end of the sentence is the backpack, the thing that holds whatever the points of the speech are. What many of you did was you put the points of your speech here. It's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a backpack, something that all the points fit in. So in this case, the backpack is going to be the three most important rule changes. Now, I think the three most important rule changes in the history of NBA basketball are: one, the 24-second shot clock; number two, the three-point change; number three is somewhat different in that it's not an official rules change. It's just that we have changed the way we interpret the traveling rule, and so you can now get away sometimes with 6 steps to the basket without dribbling. Now, that's not an official rule change, but it is a major difference in the way the rule is interpreted. I'll call that a rule change. Now, so we know what this speech is about. It's about these three important rule changes. Who are we talking to? We're specifically talking to the NBA fans. We're going to let them know, hey, if you're going to understand this game, you probably need to understand these three things, right? Boom. You got a speech. Now, maybe I'm going to bring some basketball cards Maybe I've got a pretty good collection. Maybe I'll bring some 1950s cards, black and white things, right? Okay. Versus today's cards. You can do a number of things there. Maybe I'm going to show a PowerPoint of the average build of an athlete, say in 1950, and the average build of somebody now. It's very different. Okay. And then I'm going to go to one of my students, Alex Turner, who has done every one of his speeches on the NBA. And I know that he lives, breathes, and dies NBA basketball. He's a great evaluator for me, right? That's how the process works. That's what I want to see. I don't want sort of this sentence. I want this sentence exactly. Every blank can blank in order to or by doing blank. And the last one, always at the end, is the backpack. This is the thing that we put the points of the speech in so we can carry it to the speech and remember it. In this case, it's 3 most important rules changes. Okay, good luck this week, and I'll see you soon.